Hi everyone, my name's Christina and I did my project on gene interactions and coat colors of canines. Coat colors across all mammals is a topic that I find so fascinating since there are so many genes involved that are all interacting to create the variety of colors and patterns we see in domestic animals today. Even though there is a large variety of colors and coat patterns when thinking about all the breeds available, there are actually only two pigments that determine color. Those pigments are black and red. These two pigments are controlled by genes and manipulated at various loci in order to produce different effects. There are actually only 8 genes in dogs that are associated with coat color, and the various interactions create hundreds of different outcomes. The A locus, also known as agouti, controls distribution. That means it determines what pigment is released and where throughout the entirety of the hair coat. However, the A locus can also be overridden by the K locus, or dominant black, which we will discuss a little later. The most dominant gene in the A locus is sable. Sable is noted to have black-tipped hairs with an underlying color of gold or yellow, much like the German Shepherd puppy pictured here. The B locus is responsible for affecting only the black pigment and is linked to the coat colors such as brown, chocolate, and liver. There are two alleles, big B dominant and little b recessive. In order to dilute the black pigment, an individual must inherit two recessive alleles, therefore being homozygous recessive. The B locus interacts with both the K and A loci as well. That means, depending on what is expressed in those loci, a brown dog may also have red hairs expressed as well. The D loci is responsible for intensity of pigment. Black pigment can be diluted to grays and blues, whereas red pigment can be diluted to tans, creams, or oranges. Not only does the D locus affect coat color, but it also affects nose and eye color as well. This means that any canine that has a diluted nose, regardless of color, carries the homozygous recessive allele for the D locus. The E locus is also known as the extension locus. This locus also creates patterns, often in conjunction with the A locus. It can create black masks on a dog's muzzle, as well as various other effects like a grizzle. There are 4 alleles associated with the E locus, 2 of which produce normal type patterns of just solid red or black. The K locus can also override the E locus as well, so if dominant black is at the K locus, then regardless of the alleles here, they will not be expressed. The K locus controls dominant black, fawn, and brindle. Dominant black is the most dominant, then brindle, and least dominant is fawn, which is also homozygous recessive. If 2 recessive alleles are inherited, then the A locus alleles will be expressed for coat color. If a dog inherits the brindle allele, then it is most often expressed over the color expressed by the A locus. But again, if the K locus controls dominant black and dominant black is at the K locus, then the A locus color will not be expressed. There are also a few additional loci that create interesting patterns: the Merle locus, the Harlequin locus, and the spotting locus. The Merle locus creates a coat pattern of irregularly shaped patterns, much like the Australian Shepherd in the upper left-hand corner. This can be either diluted in pigment or normal solid color. The Harlequin locus creates black patches, often on dogs that are white in color, much like the Great Dane in the upper right-hand corner. Whereas the spotting locus creates spotted and piebald patterns, like we see on traditional Dalmatians or Irish setters. All of this information combined can help breeders to intentionally create coat colors that they are looking for. The first step in this process would be to make sure you completely understand the genetics of your starting pair. If the breeder does not know the genetics behind their starting pair, then it would be very difficult for them to predict outcome of offspring and ultimately maximize their desired coat color, yield, and profit. The best way to start if you don't know the full genetics behind your breeding pair is to either contact a laboratory that specializes in DNA coat color testing, or do some experimental breedings and analyze the outcome of the offspring. There are facilities like UC Davis that produce these types of testing services for a fee. Otherwise, you can do your own pedigree mapping as you produce offspring. So you'll know that if you produce a brown dog, that he is most likely bringing the recessive B alleles, or if you produce a dog with blue eyes or a dilute nose, you know that he is carrying the dilute gene, and so on and so forth with patterns, masks, and colors. I hope you guys liked my presentation on coat colors. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I will get back to you.